Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
This broadcast of the NRL was proudly brought to you by Scale Rice, Milo, Ella Motors, Lay Biscuit Company, Flame Oil, and SP Brewery.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Good evening, I'm Trace Sipa with the Midday News. In this edition, second declaration of emergency announced, Teen wins car art competition and Northern Zone kicks off campaign. The Minister for Petroleum and Energy, Karanga Kua, has announced that the 30 days of emergency declaration, which came to effect on July 31st, 2023 due to the fuel saga, has lapsed. He said consultation work began after the declaration with measuring results, but more needs to be done. He made this announcement during a press conference held recently in Port Moresby. The Minister for Petroleum and Energy, Karanga Kua, has announced the power under the National Energy Authority Act 2021 and Essential Services Act 2022 to deliver a 30 days emergency due to the fuel supply saga between the Puma Energy and Bank of Papua New Guinea, which came to effect on July 31st, 2023 and lapsed recently. Kua said following the declaration, a number of roundtable consultation was discussed as to how to deal with the supply of foreign exchange and fuel supply in the country.
Firstly, as you will recall, on the 31st of July, on the advice of the National Security Council and the National Executive Council, I announced a state of emergency under the provisions of the National Energy Authority Act and under the provision of the Essential Services Act. Those legislations enable the state, through the minister responsible for those legislations, to declare an emergency in the situation of fuel shortage and a crisis that should follow. And that was what happened in December of 2022 and January and July of 2023, where there was a fuel shortage and especially refusal by Puma Energy, refusal or inability of Puma Energy to supply jet fuel to our aircrafts.
He said the discussion involved two important outcomes, which resulted in good progress where short-term outcomes were achieved.
For a series of consultations, we've managed to do two things. Number one is maintain the interim supply of fuel. That's the end objective. Maintain the interim supply of jet fuel and general fuel as well. And that we've been able to do successfully, and I'm thankful for that, and express my gratitude to all the stakeholders who've come in to the roundtable and supported our dialogue and our efforts. Secondly, we have also had to, we've also been able to, with the cooperation of the Bank of Papua New Guinea, maintain an appropriate level of supply of foreign exchange to the licensed banks, Bank of Papua New Guinea to the licensed banks, and from the licensed banks to their customers like Puma Energy. Through that, Puma has been able to access some foreign exchange to maintain the fuel supply.
Kua thanked the stakeholders in the supply of fuel and foreign exchange for working collaboratively to ensure the fuel saga was dealt with and fuel supply, including foreign exchange, was restored. Following the lapsing of the first declaration of emergency, the Minister for Petroleum and Energy, Karanga Kua, has announced another declaration effective 1st September to 30th September 2023. Kua said the objective is to achieve long-term measures to ensure stable, uninterrupted fuel supply in the country. Due to the recent fuel saga, the Minister for Petroleum and Energy, Karanga Kua, has announced the first emergency declaration on the 31st of July 2023, which lapsed recently. Therefore, the minister announced the second declaration, which came to effect on September 1st and hence on September 30th, 2023, to ensure long-term objectives is established for stable, uninterrupted fuel supply in the country.
Objective of short-term supply, we also looked at means and ways of providing long-term stability. On that one, we've made some progress, but we haven't reached the targets that we wanted to reach in order to give the country a real guarantee of a stable, uninterrupted fuel supply. That we've made some good progress in certain sectors, and there's a lot of work in progress has been achieved, and I'm happy for that. But we cannot tell the nation that we've actually achieved with certainty long-term supply yet. We haven't achieved that yet. Announce a second declaration that will cover the period from 1st of September to the 30th of September. This is like an extension, but it's a new declaration, and it just continues the work that we are doing. So again, the objective of the extension or the new second declaration of an emergency is to maintain the work we've been doing towards achieving both our short-term and long-term targets. Short-term is to maintain the fuel supply, maintain the foreign exchange supply, maintain the level of cooperation that we've already established between all stakeholders I've mentioned earlier. And the second objective is hopefully to find a long-term solution.
He said the difficulty of finding a long-term solution was due to the lack of cooperation between stakeholders.
Some of whom the state has control, some of whom are from the private sector, and the state does not have any control over. So it requires a high level of cooperation between all these various stakeholders to get together and establish an understanding, stay focused on what is in the interest of the national interest of this country.
Kua said some more work needs to be done. The second declaration will push the agenda forward.
Hopefully by the end of this month, September, we have some more concrete progress made on long-term fuel supply and security in this country.
Meanwhile, the Minister for Petroleum and Energy, Karanga Kua, said the 30 days declaration was operated with a budget approved for it by the National Executive Council, but was not released by the Department of Treasury. He said 4 million kina was approved, but not yet released.
One particular area of disappointment for me as the minister responsible for this declaration has been the lack of cooperation by the Department of Treasury. These 30 days of work that we have done, there's been a budget approved for it by the National Executive Council, and Treasury was supposed to provide that funding. It's essential to making sure we hit the right buttons at the right time, enabled by the finance that's made available in our hands. Sadly, Treasury has not provided that finance, despite the fact that we have provided all the information that they asked for and needed. Up to now, up to the expiry of the first 30 days, they have not provided even one toya.
TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
You like serving on winning plus scale rice mechi pack? Scale rice like giving you plenty chance to winning plenty scale prizes. Kind price so same 256 plus scale rice Nambi set, 192 plus scale rice Kemo Eski, not 44 plus JBL and Co speakers, 102 plus wireless microphone. The win, 5 minutes scale rice or Ori rice products, writing full name and contact details below the box and receipt, not drop him inside the entry box. You get 4 plus draws, 4 plus fortnight, 116 plus winners, and 16 plus promotion locations. Just try us on. You got terms and conditions for this plan.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
Open hands.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Welcome back. In advancing agriculture in the Central Province, the Southern Regional Department of Agriculture and Livestock hosted a week-long workshop with the local Avi Avi Corporation Society in the Ipiana village, Mekeo. Cocoa and vanilla farmers came from the nearby Inawi village to share their experiences and challenges in a conducive environment. The workshop also provided dialogue on issues faced by the farmers and ways to mitigate these issues. The farmers from the two Mekeo villages of Inawi and Ipiana completed the workshop invigorated with new skills and assurance that support will be given from DEL and the Central Governor Office to advance agriculture in Mekeo. 15-year-old James Tora, a grade 8 student at Ororo Primary School in Port Moresby, is the winner of the worldwide 6th Toyota Dream Car Art Contest, facilitated by PNG Motors. The art contest declared 25 winners from a remarkable 782-plus entries received from 90 countries and regions worldwide. 15-year-old James Tora is the winner of the worldwide 60th Toyota Dream Car Art Contest. He is a grade 8 student attending Ororo Primary School in Port Moresby. Young Tora was selected amongst 782-plus entries received from 90 countries. He designed a car known as Toyota Argonaut. It is a heavy-duty car customized for difficult road conditions. It has a backup solar panel and strong body designed especially for poor road conditions in PNG. Young Tora cut out the hot headweb from a newspaper and submitted his hard work.
And I did some research on cars, and so I started designing the car, the type of vehicle that I was gonna do and such. So then I came up with the vehicle, the name, the definition of the name of the car and everything.
Young Tora always has a passion of art. He grew up watching his mom draw, and that was where his interest began.
As I drew when I was small, it started to become like a habit. So in time I started getting like good, I started improving on my work in drawing. So as I grew towards the point that I knew that I had to do something with my talent, I took part in the competition.
He said given the talent he has, he aims to become an architect engineer in the future.
Because of my skills, I would like to design futuristic houses so that, developing the country is the most basic thing inside the nations.
Elamote CEO Mitsuyosu Okutsu congratulated James for being the first PNG contestant to win the competition.
The Worldwide Toyota Dream Art Contest in the last 16 years. This is I'm also very much pleased, and I'm also proud that James can get the prize from the worldwide contest of Toyota.
Young Tora was also presented with a check of $3,000. For more than 3 decades, villagers from Central Province have struggled to travel the Hinawi-Vaita Road. Villages of Vaita Afea, Apiana, Rairai, Inawi, Hivivu, and the Goilala village of Maraboy have struggled to travel this road due to continuous law and order issues and torrential rain during the wet weather, making it unsafe and hazardous to travel. The 8 villages will now benefit from the new Vaifa Afia access road, a 25-kilometer highway that will cut across all the way into the hinterlands of West Makeo District, an initiative of Central Provincial Governor Rufina Pita, who launched the project over a month ago. Already, the new stretch of road is proving a difference, with local villages as the shortest route to the Iritano Highway for market access compared to the previous Inawi Road. In regional news, domestic violence has been at crisis levels in Alice Springs, with a 30% spike in domestic assaults reported in the year to June. Experts say important work is being done to keep victim survivors safe, but more focus is needed on breaking cycles of violence amongst perpetrators.
Nigel Button couldn't see a life outside of violence.
Just come straight out, straight onto the booth, doing the same thing again.
Until one day he was referred to a men's behaviour change program. There he learnt to take responsibility for the violence he'd perpetrated and find a path out of it.
Before I didn't really thought I needed help, but now doing this program, yeah, it's really good.
The NT has the highest rates of domestic, family and sexual violence in the country, and it's on the rise in Alice Springs. But experts say they've seen very little funding or focus on supporting perpetrators to change. The local men's behaviour change program is one of just 2 in the territory. They say a lack of funding means they haven't been able to reach men where they're needed most, in prison and on remote communities.
And that's something that we'd definitely be saying needs to happen at some point. We know that.
Senior man Michael Little says more Aboriginal men also need to stand up and talk about domestic violence in places other men are frequenting.
These conversations need to be spoken about in pubs, in the streets, near the banks.
But as calls for more action continue, Nigel hopes to keep making a difference, one conversation at a time.
Even in the main streets, like see the brother boys walking along, have a yarn. What you doing? I'm doing Tangenjera Men's Group.
A long path towards change.
You're watching TVWAN News. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hey, you want to talk? Want to win one of 4 Costa buses? Simply collect 6 SP Lager red promo caps and enter the draw at a participating store near you. There are heaps of other great prizes to win too, like SP Hunters jerseys and other awesome SP Lager gifts. So enter the draw today for a chance to win. There's a bus to be won in Islands, Southern, Momase, and the New Guinea Islands. SP Lager, Bungi Mumi!
Hiya, Mama. You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaru, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
When you're spending time with family, when you've got a big day ahead, when you have given it all you've got, when you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgeta.
Hey, can I get a Virginia?
A what?
Morning King, Heine. The green one?
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking and local news delivered direct to you. Read anytime from anywhere. Download the Loop PNG News app today. Available now on Google Play Store.
Welcome back. In sports, the Northern Zone side kicked off their campaign in the National Men's Confederate Championships with a draw against an equal resilience New Guinea Highlands outfit in their opening round-robin match today. Northern, who were initially scheduled to play Southern in round 1 of the tournament, however, ended up meeting the Islands boys after the draw was amended.
It was a fiery start for both teams in the opening exchanges, with Northern showing a lot more enthusiasm and intent, flexing their muscles in the early sets to unsettle the smaller but committed NGI boys. Northern had a lot more territorial advantage in the first half, but NGI showed great resilience in defense to force them into errors. NGI were their own worst enemy at times, challenging their arms early, but poor execution and wrong options let them down. Northern were first to score through centre Dadu Philip from a well-weighted kick into NGI's in goal to take the lead 6-0 before NGI number 7 Elias Selu potted a successful penalty to trail to 6. The physicality and tempo of the contest intensified, resulting in a number of players on both sides getting treatment for blood bean and HIA. Northern power play tactic paid off when winger John Simba scored to extend the lead 12-2 before NGI centre Miles Banham scored against a run of play on the right edge to trail 6-12 till half-time. The pace and tempo of the game continued into the second half, while error rate left a lot to be desired. From another attacking move, NGI got themselves back into the contest when Banham scored on the left edge, forcing the contest into a 12-all draw at full-time. Northern Zone rookie coach and former late Tigers Kerry Tapako somewhat disappointed but praised his boys for their efforts.
The game was in our hands, the first half. The second half, the boys, I think they must have felt that they won the game already or something, so they have slept in the last 10 minutes. That's where the NGI boys came in. They had a draw with us. Yeah.
NGI coach and former Guria Rolly Matalau commended his boys for showing a lot of courage to come back and force the fiery contest into a draw.
Yeah, me, I'm almost all boys play me. Where I'll put him 100% ball game today. The defense ball Cholem was a more come out. Only draw load. Whatever Norton Jones now. I think the next game, one time Islands, I think Bambla improve lo game Bambla. Lo side lo defense all. But the defense Bambla been only me play gonna last 9 minutes. Yeah.
The round-robin matches continued in the afternoon with the team that accumulated more points declared champions for 2023. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Southern Confederate has been declared 2023 Senior Men's Champions, whilst NGI Confederate walked away with the National Under-20 Men's Championship.
Both teams went through KPHL National Men's Championships undefeated, which was played at the National Football Stadium Oval 2, Port Moresby, on Friday and Saturday. The Southern men's team joined their Southern Confederate women's team to be declared dual winners for almost a decade. Southern men showed their class and dominance throughout the round-robin tournament undefeated. In round 1, Southern 18 beat Highlands 16, Northern 14, NGI 14. Round 2, Southern 16 beat Northern 6, NGI 18 beat Highlands 4. Round 3, Southern 16 beat NGI 12, Highlands 14 beat Northern 10. Best back of the tournament, Miles Manam, NGI. Best forward, Adape Tatape, Southern. And player of the tournament, John Norman, Southern. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
The New Zealand All Blacks went down to France 13-27 in the opening match of the 2023 Rugby World Cup. This was the first pool stage defeat for the All Blacks in their World Cup history, and France has served them on the home turf. Here are the match highlights.
Ale, the Rugby World Cup is underway. Mo'unga, Barrett, works the cross kick to Mark Talia, sits up for him and he scores for New Zealand. Ramos to close the gap to 2 points. Thomas Ramos to put France into the lead, and he does so. Well inside that, Richie Mo'unga adds 3 points for New Zealand. Precisely 50 metres out here. He's hit it very well indeed. Lift in energy, wasn't it? It was Francois Cross who was penalised. Chip over the top for Will Jordan. Brilliant skill from Jordan, looking for a support runner, doesn't find one. Good tackle from Villiers. They look for the steal now, France. Double clutch from Mo'unga over the top to Talia. New Zealand looking for another try. Talia has a double. Francois Cross. Dupont to change direction. Jalabert, Mathieu, Jalabert, Tommy and Pinot. Ramos again. Well taken over the shoulder from Bowden Barrett. He's got support with him should they choose to run, and they sort of need to. 2 scores down inside 3 minutes, and they've lost possession again here. And look who's just going to dig it in behind. Melvin Jaminet chasing! Jaminet!
That's it for sports, and now the regional focus for the next 24 hours. Southern region, isolated showers and thunderstorms with windy conditions scattered over Western and Gulf. Momase region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with windy conditions. New Guinea Islands region, scattered showers and thunderstorms isolated over New Highland with windy conditions. Islands region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant evening.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.